Back as that sails over the end line. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. First carry for Darius Geis. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Play fake, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Green 18. Not today, you are. Not today. Green 18.
First carry now for the Memphis man, Darrell Henderson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd down, it's Henderson. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Henderson will try and run for the first. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. To punt it away on 4th down, here's Drew Kaiser. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
On the ground, it's Geis. And down inside the 15 he goes. 1st down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Mayfield on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. So quite a turn of events right there.
Indeed it is. I mean, Nick thought the worst that could happen was they'd get a field goal attempt to break the tie. Instead, interception, long return. Now the other guys have a great shot to go ahead.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Henderson. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Hey, wahoo! Box it, box it, box it, box it.
All day, dog. Check 59.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for fourth down. Carlson able to put this one through. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Darius Geis with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
That means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Rodgers now to throw. That's taken in by Henderson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 36, Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
180. Point it right, point it right, point it right.
On first down, this is Geis. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, do. Regular.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Third and long for Mayfield. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1.
And he's into the clear. The 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Darrell Henderson, 79 yards. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Get in the weight room. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Dancing to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Good. 180. We ain't giving him nothing. One twist, one twist, one twist. Twist, twist. Regular.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
Your trip is here.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing is Rodgers. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
26.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
You got tight. You got tight right there. 10-30.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And the Lions first down.
Matt, 20. Hey, alert, 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 alert.
First down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Leads to 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Final play of the half, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment. It's a foot race. He's at the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Darrell Henderson. He scored on the ground and through the air as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Well, he's used to running at that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
The Lions take over at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Run. Check.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Mayfield to throw it. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Broken tackle.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Again, it's Henderson. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Hey, Echo. Slam.
Mike's
Live.
59. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Got a man, that's Trent Sherfield. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, 88.
Check out.
X3. 218. Chop it.
59. Mark. Check. 59. Watch the out.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Strip that to 50. SOS. Jeff.
Mike.
Come.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the
Over.
On 2nd down now, it's Walker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Darrell Henderson, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitch...
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Henderson. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
6 man. Check curls, check curls.
Now Jones, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd.
Inside.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
31's the mic. Blue down, blue down.
Smooth.
Now Rodgers on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
We own it. We own it. Over.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
From the gun, Mayfield. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the 1st target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here's Mayfield. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
158. Get 300. Get 300.
31's the
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and this is scooped up by the Lions, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief, because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it, and that's exactly what they did.
A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. One receiver to the left is Evans. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On the ground, Geis. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a 1-score game. They run with Geis, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Darius Geis taking it in as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. The extra point, a vital one, and he gets it to go. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
He's going to take off with it. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
On second down, it's Walker. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Geis. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
King. Coming off the roof. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Here's Mayfield. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. A lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. What a gut punch. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points making this a two-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, they have to give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field. But guess what? This one's now just about over.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Defensively, there's still 3 timeouts. Do you even need to use them at this point?
I think a lot of coaches do it anyway, and it seems like cosmetics to us.
Does it just send a message you're not quitting?
Send a message that you're not quitting. Let your team know you're going to battle all the way, and you're always hoping for that ultimate miracle that something will happen, you'll pick up the ball and score, and you'll have a chance one more time and maybe on an onside kick, but not likely.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary.